So, I think I like Deep Rock Galactic. Developed by Ghost Ship Games and published by one of THQ Nordic's $1.5 million publishing arms, this is the Goat Simulator 1. Deep Rock Galactic is a 4-player co-op FPS in which a team of dwarves have to recover treasure located in abandoned interstellar mines while staving off swarms of enemies and making sure they have the resources to survive another wave. The general top-level gameplay, a 4-player looter-shooter with an emphasis on survival and cooperation, and the wave-based gameplay sound quite familiar for this channel, don't they? Yeah, that was purely coincidental, I'll admit. I kinda saw it coming, though. A small handful of people recommended the game to me last year, and learning that it wasn't just a mindless survival game, wasn't an ultra-tactical FPS, wasn't PvP, and wasn't a roguelike was 4 points in favor for the DRG. When you begin the tutorial, you're given a pretty quick rundown. You play as a gunner dwarf collecting 100 Morkite, and you bring it back to your pod. I'll explain all of this in just a minute. The first cave gives you a pretty solid idea as to what to expect and how to get around. Once you get over the fact that 5 on your overhead number keys is how you drop an ammo pod, and once you figure out that flares regenerate, you are well on your way to digging up valuable ore and fighting swarms of enemies with your crew. The tutorial is gunner specific, but there really isn't a whole lot separating the 4 classes once you get down to it. They all come with a unique primary, secondary, for lack of a better term, special tool, and a way to get around better. Our gunner, by default, carries a minigun, a magnum revolver, a gun that builds handy little zip lines, a shield generator, and then each dwarf carries a basic pickaxe, a flare, a grenade, and an armor rig. You can unlock a new primary, secondary, and 2 more grenades per class once you have some missions under your belt, but aside from that, you don't have a huge array of firearms to collect and gawk at. Instead, each weapon has a string of upgrades that you can acquire to modify how they work. Let's take the minigun for instance. There are 5 tiers of upgrade on the gun, though other weapons have varying numbers of levels, and they unlock the more you play gunner. Each tier comes with a couple different weapon perks, but you can only equip one at a time. So at tier 1, you choose between a faster cooldown between bullet storms, a higher rate of fire, or tighter spread. At tier 2, you get to choose between carrying more max ammo or getting a straight damage upgrade, and so on. Each dwarf has a role to fulfill. The gunner carries the big guns that put the hurt on swarms, the engineer builds platforms and sentries to help the rest of the team reach new heights and stay safe, the driller bores straight through walls and can help deal with immediate threats, and the scout lights up caves with their flare gun and can rush ahead of their grappling hook to look for treasure. Most missions can be completed solo, and if you play solo, you get a little droid by the name of Bosco to help you shoot enemies dead. But a good team of 4 dwarves will be able to accomplish infinitely more provided they work together and play to their strengths. A scout can provide light with their flare gun, so an engineer can help his driller get up to a major ore deposit. The driller can then tear that off a wall, all while the gunner keeps his team safe. But what do you do in Deep Rock Galactic? You mine stuff. What do you mine? Well, that depends on the mission. Your general mining quest involves requiring a set amount of Morkite, a rather brittle, abundant, blackish mineral you scoop up by the bundle and dump in your trusty, gravity-defying, relatively stupid, frickin' adorable, because it's just so. Why are you on the wall? Why are you on the ceiling? Why are you like this mule? Molly, please. But not every mission is just mine a thing and leave. Sometimes you gotta track down the lost gear of deceased dwarves and get their mules home. Sometimes you're collecting quark crystals and bringing them to a central platform. Sometimes you're tracking down eggs, and sometimes you're tracking down a few boss fights and tearing them up. But doing these missions a la carte, bland, tired, cliche, lame, stupid, fucking dumb. No. You've gotta play an assignment. Think the campaigns from Raid World War II? I forgot I installed that nobody understands this reference alarm in my apartment. It goes off all the time, I'm sorry. Anyways, assignments are 3 to 6 or so missions that you play in a row for a bunch of rewards. You're not forced into playing all of them at once, one after the other. You can take breaks and even play other missions, but the game places a marker on the next quest it wants you to play, and it will let you know what you should take on next. You'll want to keep an eye on the expiration date, if there is one, because the entire assignment must be complete before it expires. Assignments are how you unlock the rest of the game after the tutorial, they're how you get clearance to use your class's alternate weapons, it's how you unlock mineral selling and buying, and it's how you promote your dwarves when they hit the level cap. 25 levels sounds rather paltry, but it took 6.5 hours of scout playthrough to get level 10. And if things go at that rate, I assume it will take about 60-ish hours to hit the level cap for each of the 4 dwarves. But that's still not it, because there's a prestige system. You can jump from no rank to bronze to silver to gold, prestige, so technically there's 100 levels per dwarf. It's just a prestige system. But promoting lets you build overclocks for your weapons, which are essentially upgrades that provide some additional benefits but some downsides. It also lets you play deep dives, which are assignments, but you're locked in. Your supplies between missions persist, and if you die, you lose all the rewards from all the previous missions. And that's about it. Oh, and there's beer. You can craft beer, and certain beers provide bonuses, like extra gold, or being able to carry things faster. It's nice. Dwarf's gotta get drunk. Dwarf Fortress told us the dwarf has to be drunk. If he's sober, it's bad. And that's about it. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's that RPG-esque level grinding and perk upgrading, that Minecraft-esque adventure, combat, collecting, seeing new things, and even when playing solo, I find myself losing track of time playing the game. I have yet, as of writing, gotten the chance to play the game with a friend. Actually, now that I've recorded, I have. It's a little stressful because you can shoot your teammates and they take damage, and there is no highlights around your teammates, so you have to keep pressing control to see where they're at. But I do look forward to playing more with Dan, because this is pretty much everything I was looking for in games like GTFO, Raid, and that one Dead Man Walking game that Overblown or whoever made. No offense to any of the 2 of 3 of those, but a lot of these newfangled co-op games are pushing either a team-based PvP thing where you cooperate to screw over another team, they're just a roguelike but 4-player, or they're just a stealth game where all your cool weapons are useless because the moment you make noise, you're swarmed. Here, it's no nonsense. You shoot some stuff, you take some things out of the ground, wall, the ceiling, you shoot more stuff, you get the heck out of dodge, rinse, repeat, make your guns cooler so you can shoot more stuff dead. You keep fighting these like big loot chests and you pop them open by sticking batteries in them and they spew minerals everywhere and you get weapon skins and new taunts and mustaches. It's a loop that's frankly more satisfying than people give it credit for, and it's high time that there were more horses in this race. Ironic that it all comes back to Goat Simulator, right, dwarves? Hey! You still owe me some nukes. Where are they? Where'd you put them? Deep Rock Galactic is Windows exclusive at the moment, but is Linux compatible via Steam Play, and I'd assume a Mac and some console ports would eventually come in, I don't know, I'm gonna say 2021. Who knows? If What's It Called could get console releases while still in early access, Risk of Rain 2. If that could get console releases while still in early access, anything's possible. The game is set to leave early access and launch 1.0 this summer. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, I'd recommend subscribing. Patreon and social media links are in the description.